Hello, my name's Damian Hughes, and it's a real pleasure and a privilege to be with you this evening to celebrate the launch of Sue's amazing book, Sink Then Swim. I've known Sue now for over 20 years, originally when she was at Luford before she became Sherman's, and I've always known that she's not only incredibly intelligent, but she's got a real wit and a warmth about her as well, and I'm delighted that this book is her chance to showcase both her intelligence and her obvious warmth and charm. When we're talking tonight around this idea of living as an expat, I've done that myself. I've lived both in the United States as well as in Europe. And I know how difficult, how confusing, and how scary it can be to actually undertake that journey. There's a concept that I wanted to talk about this evening called the law of illusory depth. What it means is that some people can often pretend as if they know what they're talking about by using long words or making things sound clever, when actually their knowledge of a certain situation is only puddle deep. This book that we're talking about and that we're here to celebrate the launch of this evening really challenges that. When I first read it, I was thinking how I could have so done with this knowledge and this guide to be able to help me navigate the many pitfalls and the numerous mistakes that I made when I did the journey of living as an expat. Sue was kind enough to ask me at the start of this process when she first started the idea of writing a book, whether I'd read it, and it was a real privilege to do so. I've been lucky enough to write a couple of books myself, and there's two rules that I said to her I wish somebody would have taught me when I first started writing. The first one is that your first draft will always be rubbish. Nobody tells you that, but it's true. But the second rule is that you need people around you that are willing to give you feedback. What so many people do, and they do it from a place of love, is they'll read the draft and tell you that it's really good and I really liked it. But actually, as an author, it's actually useless, that kind of information. It's nice to receive, but it doesn't give you an idea of what do I need to do and how do I get better with this. So Sue asked me to put my money where my mouth is and to do that role of offering feedback. And when I read the first draft, I think it contained part of what makes Sue so special. Her obvious intelligence, the fact that she challenged the law of illusory depth and made the idea of living as an expat and navigating your way through the perils of that to be really clear. It was concise, and so most of the stuff was invaluable. But my feedback was that it was the second element of what makes Sue so special: her warmth, her vibrancy, and just Sue herself. And that was the feedback I gave her. The stories, the anecdotes from her own life are what really brings this book to life. So I was delighted that when she sent me the revised version after how many drafts, I don't know, it contained so much more of the person that we're here to celebrate. It contains so much about Sue and what makes her so incredible, but also her own journey as an expat, from leaving the wilds of Doncaster and going to, first of all, the Scandics before settling in the Netherlands. It contains stories from her growing up, as well as ways in which she's not only survived but thrived these incredible experiences that she's been through. And that's why I have little doubt whatsoever of recommending that this book is a must read. It's one that I'd encourage you, because once you get into it, it feels like you're having a personal conversation with Sue, that she's that guide that'll help you through it, but it's her warmth and her own stories and anecdotes that will really make you want to trust her and follow her advice to the letter. So I'm sorry that I can't be with you live this evening, but it was indeed a real privilege to be able to just come on and speak for a few minutes about what an incredible book it is, and to congratulate Sue on the fantastic achievement of being able to share something of her own journey, and also a guide that can help anybody else that's looking to do something similar. So I hope you'll raise a glass with me this evening, where we celebrate the brilliant book Sink and then Swim.